y'all, and welcome back to the kind of beauty and beauty adjacent section on my channel. Because today we're going to be doing, for the first time in forever, a monthly hits and misses. I don't think I can even recall in my head the last time I did one of these, partly because usually I have them as like beauty related products, and as most of you all probably know at this point, I have been out of the beauty know-how and the beauty stratosphere. I've just been kind of not had that be a part of my life, and recently so we've kind of recovered from the burnout of YouTube and have kind of dip my toes and my fingers back into the whole beauty sphere. We are here with a month of hits and misses with makeup, as well as, because I am including other elements of myself on my channel, we've got other hits and favorite things that I've been loving this month that aren't beauty related, because we're being all multifaceted on this channel now. If I can think to remember, I will leave my last one down below. It's probably like 8 months ago. Because even in like my trying my makeup and stuff, I'm not rotating through nearly as many products as I was, and I'm going to continue rotating through less new products as I go on into my low buy, which will get its own video soon. But with all of that being said, we're just going to start into one of my favorite sections of this, which is the music I have been loving. Now, some of y'all have seen on Snapchat that I have been enjoying a dip back into sort of an interest of mine from my younger years, which I'm a weeb. I love the anime and the anime and the manga and all that shit. I also love, how do you say this without sounding Japanese? I love J-rock. I love Visual K. Not too big on J-pop, some of it, but more I'm in the rock and metal sort of situation, which started from my love of anime because of anime opening and closings. It wasn't just songs about the anime. I just liked the music on its own and began sort of curating my own list of artists and groups that I like. And so with this insurgence back into like my anime era and like my Visual K and kind of coming back to those, it's been a constant gag. If 14-year-old or 15-year-old Soraya could see me now, their mind would be blown and they would be losing their absolute shit. But going back in on this adventure has sort of risen up some of my older favorite music that I've had, one of which being just an artist that I've just sort of like, forgot how much I love them, and that is Gackt, who is one of my absolute favorite, not just in J-rock, but in music on a whole. One of my favorite musicians, vocalists. He is disgustingly talented, beyond a gorgeous specimen of just everything beautiful and attractive. It's funny though, since my girlfriend, we were going through some of these magazines and she was like, that one looks like a pretty girl, and I was just, you're right, that one does look like a pretty girl. And now I'm looking back on all these men that I was attracted to younger, and all I see is hot women, and I'm like, okay, I guess it really has the gay. There's literally one, I was flipping through one of them and I had no idea who the artist was, and I was like, oh, she's hot, ooh, what's up? I turned the page, I was like, oh, it's a dude. But I have been really, really loving his music. I will leave some of the songs that I've been listening to. Some of his songs are just some of my favorite, just in the music sphere. Several of his love songs I think are some of the best that have ever been written. So like I said, I will leave those down below. Another artist that I've brought back actually coincides very well with Gackt is Hyde, who is from L'Arc-en-Ciel, which is, I think they were the first CD I ever got. My mom got it for me for Christmas or my birthday because they did the second opening to the original Full Metal Alchemist series, not Brotherhood. And then they also, their song, Heaven, I believe, was used in the first Full Metal Alchemist animated film, which me and my brother Luke saw in theaters all those years ago. I believe that he and Gackt have two of the most unique voices in the industry. They're just so, I was re-listening to Hyde and I was like, this slaps. Oh, he's got, ooh, why hadn't I been listening to this for a while? Been absolutely loving his single album, Faith. I will leave that link down below. Gackt is kind of, the majority of his stuff, I don't want to say mainstream, it's very user, very radio friendly to the ears. Hyde, this particular album is a bit more, a little bit more rock and you know, and stuff like that. And then last but not least, and then I gotta move on because we've been spending 7 minutes on music thus far, is two songs, specifically one from Rentrer Et Soi. I'm so sorry if I am butchering pronunciation on that, as well as a song from Phantasmagoria, which are two groups that I have rekindled my love for, and I've just been listening to this like selection of J-rock and Visual K over and over and over and over and over again, and finding this and everything. It's been a really good time for me, and I wanted to share it with y'all. If it's not your shit, it's not your whatever, that's fine, but I wanted to share what I've been loving and sort of going down that memory music lane. And sort of in the same vein, what started this kind of like, this dip, this dive into an era of my life that I'd kind of put aside was, I was on Mercari, and I don't even know how I came across it, but I came across a Visual K magazine. Let me show you. This is the easiest type of one to show you. This is Cure, which is probably my second favorite Visual K publication, and it just goes, I mean, like I said, if 14-year-old me had access to this then, I would have just absolutely lost it. I mean, it's got the band members, it's got, you can see the clothing up front, the beautiful pictures, looking at the makeup and the hair. If I had access to this, I'm glad I didn't, because I would ruin these would be cut open and licked and kissed and harassed and all kinds of terrible things, because that's how I was at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, quite a few years. But that was just not an option, an example. The ones that I have really been loving, because I've been collecting Cure, Shocks, Neo, Fool's Mate, and Arena 37, which is my favorite of all of the publications that I've been collecting. I love the format. I love the content that they have. This one is near and dear to my heart because, again, this is Gackt right here. I don't know, y'all probably don't know. Maybe someone in the stratosphere of my channel, he, a couple years ago, suffered a neurological break. I'm not entirely sure. If I can find the article, I'll leave it down below. But currently his music career is on an indefinite hiatus because he suffered a neurological episode that has made him unable to sing, which is honestly heartbreaking. But going through this just took me back to honestly a wonderful time in my life where life was simple and all I had to worry about were hot Japanese men who would absolutely have no interest in me. You know, and seeing this was just, I've just been enjoying reading them and going through them and really kind of reliving this era of my life without all the toxic teenage childhood stuff that goes with it. It's got one of my favorite groups here, Alice 9. Not only does it have Alice 9, it also has another one of my favorite groups, the Gazette, who, one of my favorite Visual K artists, just, is Rookie. I love, like I said, what I would have done if I had access to this shit. I would have gone absolutely feral. I Snapchat, and I'm like, there was a point where I would have gladly killed for this man. 14-year-old me, I'll do Ding! So I've just really been enjoying getting to have that deeper look into something that I really enjoyed in my younger years that I still enjoy to this day, and I'm kind of getting an opportunity to relive that in my adult life, and I've been really enjoying that. All right, now let's get into some beauty related hits and misses. Let's start out with a sort of a new it's been a favorite before. I've repurchased, I'm using it, and now I've been reminded about why I bought it in the first place. This one is a new one that I have not opened yet because I have it on backup. I don't even know what, I had a gift card, I had some kind of something, and I had for the longest time not repurchased the Tatcha, the Rice Polish Deep. I'd used the deep one, really liked it. I tried the normal one, wasn't really as much of a fan, and so I decided to go back to old reliable, and I love that. I try so hard not to needlessly recommend expensive skincare or uber expensive makeup, because let's get real, all of it is expensive. It's a sliding scale of expensive, but makeup and fancy skincare, even normal skincare, is definitely a luxury item. And I love this. I love this. My skin is the best I find when I use a gel cleanser to start off with, and then I'll go in with one of these rice enzyme sort powders. I've tried from Amor Pacific. I've got one from Good Molecules that I want to try. I've got one from Tony Moly that I want to try. But I have one in my bathroom that I'm using, and I wanted to have the backup because when it comes to my skincare, I'm paranoid, and I do not want to, like, when I'm trying new things, I like to have those ones that I know work on backup that I can go to should something gnarly happen whilst I am trying stuff with my routine. And I love this. One of the few Tatcha products and one of the few expensive skincare products that I advocate for and that I think is worth every single penny, at least for my skin. And I have normal to dry skin. Then something that didn't work also in that expensive skincare category is the Peter Thomas Roth Clinical Skincare Firm X Peeling Gel Exfoliant. Visibly exfoliates by rolling, lifting, and sweeping away when massaged onto skin. Multi-action enzymes and cellulose help uncover a smoother, fresher, newer looking complexion. And I mean, it was okay. I'm gonna keep trying to use it. I've used it a couple of different times. I have the exfoliators that I like and use, and this one just hasn't been one that I've seen does do a lot for my skin. I'm gonna continue using it and using it up and stuff like that. If it ends up just not doing anything, I will pass it on to my sister-in-law to see if it works better for her. But before I do that, I do like I spent money on you, and I'm pretty sure I bought this at Sephora because some of my skincare I like hitting up at Marshall's and shit because you can get a good price on that. But I'm pretty sure I bought this with real money. Not real money. I bought it at Sephora. It's expensive. And it's not that it was bad, it's just one that, like, I used it like my one, my IOPE peeling gel. I've got one from Wishful Beauty that really does something for my skin, whereas this, after I used it, I was like, how we doing? How's our, it didn't do anything where I was like, yes, this is something I really want to include into my skincare routine because I really like it. Now, I will say when it comes to skincare, it is very, very important to not use it once or twice and be like, oh, well, this isn't, I mean, if it has an adverse effect, yes, quit using it. But results and effects of skincare, I find, are created by constant and consistent use to really know if a product works for you. And I don't like assessing a product until I've used it for, like, at least bare minimum is 2 weeks. I prefer a whole month. So I guess I'll pull this back into rotation, but for the first rotation of me using it, wasn't terrible, but it didn't do anything enough for me to say, yes, I recommend this. Now, something I do recommend, which y'all would have seen in a haul, or actually which y'all probably would have not seen, I pre-record a lot of my videos and then I put them as live. And I did a makeup haul that I put as you know, it's up, it's everything. And it got like 200 views, which I had been averaging a pretty good amount when I did that. And I was like, why did nobody see it? But in that video, I hauled these two. These are the Blush Rouge from Juvia's Place in Volume 1, which... this fucks me up. This right here also fucks me up. These are so stinking nice. Back when Juvia's Place had their single blushes, which I probably still have the two of them in my collection still, because they're an absolutely phenomenal formula. This was way back in my channel years, but these are so good, so stinking good. I absolutely love them. I love the correlation in the shades. It's like a soft matte formula. It doesn't have any shimmer or shine. It's not illuminating in any sense of the word, but it kind of lends itself to this very light, soft, more airbrushed matte. It's very gentle on the skin. It doesn't look harsh or powdery. It's just a very nice, consistent formula that looks really good on the skin. Is again nice, easy to use, a bit more pigmented than I would say. I just finished a review on the Nude Prism Manny MUA Lunar Beauty collection. Not as user-friendly as those, but these are just... if you have been considering and thinking and like, oh, should I get it? You should get it. If you love blush and you're thinking about this, get it. It is beautiful. I absolutely adore the formula on both of these. You're going to see in another haul, hopefully that y'all will actually see, where I thought they had just these two, but apparently they have 3 other shades, so you're going to see those as well. And spoiler alert, they are all immaculate. Absolutely stunning. Something else you would have seen in that haul, if you'd actually seen it, was the Gemini II palette. I have a review on this as well as a compare and contrast on the Gemini 1 that they repackaged when they did this whole thing. I love this palette. When I first got this palette and after I reviewed it, I used it for like 2 weeks straight. I was like, well, you have to review another palette. No! I want to wear this palette because this palette is absolutely gorgeous. I will leave, I don't know if I said that, I will leave the review link down below as well as the haul. And it's just so beautiful. Like anyone who just, this is my shit. This is just everything that I could possibly want in a palette. Beautifully formulated. This is a palette that is a beautiful prime example of Melt Cosmetics when they do something right. Because when they do it right, therefore a lot of their formulas are unparalleled, are unmatched by other brands. But when they do it wrong, like Millennial Pinks. But this is when they do it right. And this is a palette I can 110% stand behind, as well as the Gemini 1. These are just really good, solid palettes. I compared the Gemini 1 to the original. Both amazing. I said that this one was probably just a titchy bit better. Not this one, the Gemini 2. This is amazing. Love this palette. Absolute favorite. But I'm talking about the two Geminis, comparing those two. And I think that the second version is a bit better simply because it was just an even more wonderful experience in using. But the colors, the formula, the matte to shimmer ratio, everything about this palette absolutely fucks me up. And I am so glad that it is good quality and that I like it, because if I were to get this and purchase it for $58 and it not work out, I would have been crushed. I would have been really salty and sad if I'd gotten this and tried it and it had been shit. Another favorite from Melt Cosmetics, but an entirely different collection. I will leave this review down below as well. This is from their, I don't even know what collection. This is a collection where I wanted the eyeshadow palette and the blush palette, and they kept sending me emails. Buy the whole collection for $7,000. Here's a coupon for $50 off. I was like, I don't care. I'm not buying the whole collection. I am not doing that this time around. Email me when I can buy the shit singularly. But this is the blush palette, and as you all know, I am an absolute slut for blush palettes I don't need and that I'm not going to use. This one I didn't need, but I am definitely using it. I just love the tones in this thing. The like earthy and the grungy and the terracotta-y and just this like sunburnt and sun-kissed glowy look is just everything I'm absolutely loving in blush and a blush palette right now. My least used shade is this one, which is kind of funny because starting out my makeup journey, I bought all kinds of hot pink blush. I'm like, I'm alternative. The more vibrant the blush, the better. And so I'm just not doing looks that are really conducive to this kind of blush. Everything else, I love these two shimmer shades right here. They are so beautiful to just sweep, to just glide across that matte blush to give it a little bit dimension, a little bit of shimmy shine. But actually what I'll do is I'll do one of these matte blushes, then we'll start with one of those and add that shimmer over it, and then we'll do a highlighter on top of that for an extraterrestrial glow moment. I absolutely love this. The palette to this collection was also amazing. Not doing this poor thing justice. Just absolutely, just honestly, I love this one too. I've used it, but just this bit here, absolutely stunning. If it's available, well, that was certainly flattering. If it's still available, I would definitely highly recommend getting it. Milk Cosmetics has a really bad habit of releasing products and then being limited edition. It seems that the majority of the good products that they are releasing then come to die in a limited edition death. So if this is not limited edition, or even if it is limited edition, it's still available, would definitely recommend this. Been absolutely loving it ever since I got it. Then something else from that haul that you might have seen that you probably didn't see is the Ofra by Samantha March Start Inspired Highlighter, which I did not need another highlighter. Anytime I buy makeup, I do not need any of it. I don't need eyeshadow, I don't need highlighter, I don't need blush, I don't need lip whatever. But I wanted this highlighter so bad when it came out because I love Samantha March. I love Ofra highlighters. And this was just this beautiful, champagne-y, goldy, rosy beautifulness. I love the fact that it's only 2 colors and it's done in such a way that you can get a little bit of this one by itself, or do the whole swirly-whirly together thing. I've used the frickin' gold shade by itself. I've used the pink shade by itself. I like them best all swirly-whirly together. But the thing that I just barely touched it. But the thing that I really like about this highlighter that I didn't notice until I put it on, and you probably won't be able to see, but no, you can't see. But on the face, it has just a titchy bit, just a hint of twinkle. Just a little bit of sparkle. I put it on, I was like, oh, look, there's a little bit of schwitzy, a little bit of glitter going on there. But it's not like glitter. It's just like an iridescent, very similar. If any of y'all have tried the Jeffree Star Extreme or Supreme, those like really jacked up, jacked to Jesus highlighters that are like electric glitter and smart, whatever. It's very similar to that formula where you've got the pigment and then you've got just that top layer of just iridescence. And then you just set that with a little bit of setting spray and you are good to glow to whatever gods you see fit. Just so pretty. Like I got it being like, oh, it's just an over highlighter in a color I like. Yee, Samantha March. But she really knew what was up when she released that, because that little hint, that little touch of etherealness really makes this a highlighter a cut above even just the regular Ofra formula, because you've got that beautiful, creamy, delicious formula to begin with, and then you add a little something to it, and it is absolutely stunning. If you haven't picked this up, highly recommend it. It is a beautiful, gorgeous highlighter that even stands out from all the other Ofra highlighters that I own. Alright, now last but least, normal, everyday favorites. I don't know if y'all know, but my regular 9 to 5 or 11 to 7 as it were job is I do night shift at a hotel now. That's what I do. I sit there and I check people in who for whatever reason want to check in at 3 o'clock in the morning. I literally had someone one time, I was checking them in the moment, in the whatever, and they're like, what are you doing up? What are you doing? I'm like, are you not here at 3 o'clock in the morning wanting to check in? I'm here because of you. Don't ask me why I'm here. Why are you checking in at 3 o'clock in the morning? I was a little bit aghast, a little bit of whatever. But as doing a night shift might suggest, caffeine is typically needed for a little bit of pep and go to keep me going through said shift. And energy drinks of any kind, whether you're getting Monster, my favorite are the ice plus caffeine, but they're like, $2 or $3 per, which as someone who's trying to be better about money, that is just not, the math does not equate. So I get these. You can get the Mio ones. I've tried the Mio ones. I've tried the Great Value ones. I get these ones at Walmart. Both are really good. It is a much less expensive investment to get your caffeine. You get your bottled water. You just squirt this shit in it. You swirly, swirly. It's got a nice taste, and it's got caffeine to give you that extra zip in your night routine step. I go back and forth between the Mio and the Great Value one. The only one that they have in like the big bottle is the black cherry flavor of this one, which is not my favorite. I really like this one. It's Tropical Fusion. I believe you can get more than 18 8 fluid ounce servings in this. I drink a fuck ton of water at work and just in life. If there's anything that I'm going to do in this life, it is going to be staying hydrated. And these have just been a better option for me in my price point and just practicality sense to do these little caffeine drops rather than wasting all my money on energy drinks, because I want the caffeine. Not necessarily. Every once in a while. In the past 2 months, I've probably bought 6 energy drinks, which for me is pretty good because I was drinking about 7 a week. And I also find that these are better for me in the long run, whereas they have a lot less added to them as compared to like especially a Monster or something like that. Now, when I do energy drinks, I do the no sugar, that sort of thing, because the diabetes. But even then, really like these if you're looking for a nice simple way to add a little bit of caffeine to zhuzh you up a little bit. I've been using these and they've been doing really well, and it's been a much better financial choice in the long run. Then another bit of caffeine, which was actually introduced to me by my girlfriend. I have never been a coffee drinker. I drank coffee because it had caffeine in it. My brother and I used to joke that when I'd go to Starbucks, I don't actually like coffee. I like an ice cream milkshake with a shot of caffeine in it. I never drank coffee as like a pleasurable, enjoyable drink. It was for caffeine or sugar and caffeine. But this is, I believe it's a Vietnamese, my girlfriend's mother went to go get like her nails done, and they gave her like this coffee, and she was like, "What is it? It's a packet. You add water to it." She was like, "What is this heavenly coffee deliciousness?" And this is what it was. And my girlfriend was like, "You gotta try it, you gotta try it." I'm like, I'm not really a coffee person. If you're not a coffee person and you want to enjoy coffee, this is like the hot chocolate of coffee, where it has that nice flavor, but it's not overwhelming, it's not bitter. I don't even add any sugar or any cream or any kind of thing like that. I need to try this shit iced, because I think that would be delicious beyond all belief. Make myself some kind of, actually on to my last few packets of this. It is such a soothing and comforting drink. I told her I started drinking it. She was like, "Yeah, isn't it amazing?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's amazing." I was like, "You have no idea. I never want to be without this." It's just so freaking good, especially for someone who's not, I'm not a coffee drinker, and this is just so really, really good. I mean, it's just got sugar, non-dairy creamer, and instant coffee. And that's it. That is it. And it is so good and amazing. I cannot wait to enjoy a cup of this in the crisp, chill fall and winter months. That is going to be an absolute moment for me. But right now, I'm enjoying it in the sweltering heat of the building I work in because I keep it at a nice, crisp 68. I would be dying if I couldn't set the temperature at my work. I would be dead. But just sort of a random, just like I had it and then it was just amazing. They get theirs on Amazon. I need to get me some of this because it's just, they had this by like the can. They had this by the can, I would lose my shit. But if you're looking to try out coffee without like trying out coffee, you know, this is an instant coffee that's just really, I wish that my grandmother was still alive so that I could have her try some of this. Because I think, although she just take the instant, this is kind of nasty, pissy, whatever coffee. But I think she would have liked this because this is a very smooth, mellow coffee drinking experience. All right, well, there we have it for my July hits and misses. This is probably going to be like a week into August by the time this goes up because it was a rough week last week, people. I was tired. I was exhausted. I had no motivation to do anything but go to work, to eat, and sleep. That was it. So I actually pushed myself today, and I was like, this is actually before work. I was like, you need to film. You gotta get this going. You enjoy it when you do it, so just do it. Would love to hear what y'all have to say about the products and the things that I've talked about. You have no idea how much dopamine I got when I did an anime haul and someone was like, you have no idea how near and dear Sayuki is to my heart. And I was like, fellow believer, you know, when I find people who have kind of those same little niche interests that I do, it's a very, very fulfilling moment for me. I love this whole adding extra elements to my channel and finding other like-minded individuals in beauty, in anime, in paganism, and all of everything like that. I've been absolutely living for the expansion. So definitely let me know what you think about everything down below. Let me know a song that you've been loving, a makeup product you love or have been hating, everything like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!